Coming up on the Northern Sun Showcase, let the madness begin. We are at mid-March as Concordia-St. Paul makes an elite run. NSIC Indoor Track and Field crowns a pair of national champions, while 7 wrestlers earn All-American honors. The NSIC Sanford Health Basketball Tournament is in the books, but not after the conference engages the Sioux Falls community. It may not look it outside, but spring sports are underway, so sit back because this episode's a hit. The Northern Sun Showcase starts now. Welcome to the Northern Sun Showcase. For the next 30 minutes, we'll keep you up to date on the Upper Midwest Division II athletics in the Northern Sun. 16 members strong and competing very well regionally and nationally. I'm Mike Woodley with the Commissioner, Butch Raymond, and a lot to talk about today, including national championships and certainly All-Americans. Commissioners love that. And also one basketball team still playing in the Elite Eight.
Last show we had, Mike, we were just wrapping up our seasons in both men's and women's basketball, and we were excited about establishing a new tournament procedure. And we moved down to the Pentagon in Sioux Falls. We instigated some new programs outside of the basketball arena. And very honestly, I'm not sure it could have gone much better. We're really pleased with the start we have.
One of the many strong communities that support these colleges and universities in the Northern Sun is the Sioux Falls area. And certainly with 2 schools in the conference, both Augustana and Sioux Falls in that area, there was a lot of support, and it showed up. The Pentagon was abuzz with basketball with both the men's and women's tournaments.
It really was, and you know, not only the Pentagon, but Mike, the Northern Sun was really interested in giving something back to the community of Sioux Falls, and so we contacted the NCAA to see if they'd help us, give us some good ideas. And they came up with a pilot project that we instigated. We had Jill Wilson and Josh Looney from the NCAA, and the 2 ladies in our office, Associate Commissioner Erin Lind and Assistant Commissioner Melissa Seawick, really took good heart in this and just put on a tremendous show for everybody.
And what happened? Let's get Brandy Wright out with the rundown.
Our Associate Commissioner Erin Lind asked me to help out and plan some community engagement activities during our basketball tournament. As part of that, we brought 8 of our teams, 4 women's teams and 4 men's teams, to visit local elementary schools. They're doing a variety of activities, reading books, answering questions that the kids have prepared for them, showing them different basketball drills and stretches, and just talking about their experience as a student athlete, what it's like to be a student athlete, the demands they have on them as students and as basketball players, and just sharing with them kind of the path that they took to go to college. And I think it's really inspiring for those kids to see that these 18 to 22-year-olds worked really hard their whole life to get to this point, and basketball's brought them to a point where they can go to college and have a great experience.
Looks like the whole community got behind it, Butch, and that's really the intention, and it worked out well.
Well, it wasn't only the basketball players and coaches that jumped on the program for our tournament. It was people like Brandy, Assistant Athletic Director at the University of Upper Iowa, and many others that just said, what can we do to help? And Brandy started out with our teams traveling to some of the elementary schools. As she mentioned, we had 4 men's teams and 4 women's teams. Those were the teams that played on Saturday. So they came in on Friday, practiced, and then made the journeys to the schools. And honestly, when they came back, the players, when they came back from the school experience, I think their eyes were as wide as could be. I think they enjoyed it more than the kids did in the elementary schools. And again, positive accolades from all the schools on how our student athletes reacted.
Those kids learned a little bit about how to play better basketball, but probably also made some friends and maybe some new idols with those autograph sessions as well. Just a good event, but it didn't end with the clinic and the autographs.
No, not at all. We then went to a clinic on Saturday morning. We said that we could take 100 kids, 2nd grade through 8th grade, and we had people from all of our schools involved, not coaches necessarily or student athletes, but other people that had a basketball background. And it was headlined by Pam Gohl, who was the former women's basketball coach at Minnesota State Mankato and now is the interim athletic director at the University of Sioux Falls. And she organized it. People jumped in and helped her, and in 2 days we had over 100 kids that were signed up for it, so very successful.
I know I've been involved with Make-A-Wish major part of my life. That was a part of this too, helping kids that could really use a boost.
We did. I think it culminated the tournament on the championship night at halftime. We had 50 people from Make-A-Wish families that we invited in as our guests. We had a pizza party for them and a small program for them and entertained them in the suite at the Pentagon. And then at halftime we had the Grand March where they marched out onto the floor and circled the floor. And I still get goosebumps just thinking about it. It was such a meaningful experience.
Well, we got all the pageantry and the community involvement out of the way. Now let's get down to the basketball action.
There's a mountain we are climbing, another day of trying, on roads that keep rewinding, our time has come to walk on through the fire and rise up even higher, through windows of desire, we chase the sun. And these days always will last. Don't try holding us back, 'cause nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us. 'Cause these are our days.
Which it came down to that in the conference tournament. Minnesota State Mankato taking on Winona State, two strong teams battling for a title.
Well, we know that Minnesota State Mankato was our overall conference champion and won the South Division, and just one game behind them in the South was Winona State. So those two teams had the best overall record for the season, and the tournament really played out that way. They won their way through the 16 teams we had and met up into the championship game, which the overall champion, the South Division champion, Minnesota State Mankato, prevailed in a very good basketball game.
And the MVP of the conference tournament was a very talented player from that Maverick squad, Zach Monahan. Tell me a little bit about him.
Well, Zach is the point guard for Minnesota State, and he was the MVP in the tournament. He is also the Daktronics Regional Player of the Year. Zach ranked number 1 in the country, averaging over 8 assists per game, along with his 13 to 18 points that he scored.
The other players that were on that all-tournament team, including Assam Marie, the forward from Minnesota State, along with Gage Wooten, also from Minnesota State. From Winona was Kellen Taylor, the guard, and Mark Blacklock, the forward, sophomore and the senior. So those are as our all-tournament team for the conference tournament. Good to see that. All in all, it was a nice representation of the conference. It all played out real well.
And we're going to miss the seniors that are on that, but we have some really good underclassmen coming back, Zach being a junior from Minnesota State and Blacklock being a sophomore from Winona. So we have a good nucleus coming back for next year's teams.
And so Minnesota State Mankato and Winona State both go on to the regions, and we see how they do there. And then ran into some tough competition. The same team ended both of their seasons.
So the Central Region, Minnesota State got the #1 seed, so and then had the chance to host it. And again, I'd like to pay special tribute to the athletic director Kevin Beisman and his staff for just putting on a very, very efficient tournament. It was well run, and it was exciting to be there. And yes, unfortunately, our teams, Winona State was defeated in the first round by
Northwest
Missouri State. Mm-hmm. And then in the second round, Minnesota State came back, and they also beat Minnesota State. So that team was hard on us, but there were good games, and certainly the competition. Central Missouri will represent the Central Region in the Elite Eight. They're from the MIAA.
And now that men's basketball is over in the Northern Sun Conference, we cannot say the same about women's basketball. Still alive is a Northern Sun team in the Elite Eight. We'll get back to basketball on the women's side right after this on the Northern Sun Showcase.
The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, 16 schools, 18 sports, one common goal, athletic and academic excellence. Student athletes in the league compete and win NCAA national championships while learning the skills to compete and win in life. The NSIC has developed into one of the premier NCAA Division II conferences in the nation. The NSIC, win here, win in life. Learn more at northernsun.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
What if you could get a reward for saving money? A real acknowledgement of achieving your goal. Then you would know the feeling of START from U.S. Bank. When you save $1,000, you'll get a $50 U.S. Bank Rewards Visa card. And you'll get another $50 Rewards Visa card when you maintain your balance for a year. Because you're doing all you can to save money. And that should be rewarded.
Welcome back to the Northern Sun Showcase. Let's talk women's basketball now, Butch. Really same setup as the men. They went to the Pentagon in Sioux Falls. Great reception, a lot of community involvement, and a lot of hot basketball action on the court.
Well, to your delight, there was what you would call an upset, a Cinderella story, and that Cinderella story is still being played out by Concordia-St. Paul. They were, during our season, they were the number 3 team in the South. And throughout the tournament, they just came on like gangbusters and have been playing extremely well, and certainly winning the Central region and moving on to the Elite Eight is just an indicative of that.
But to be fair, they were the preseason coach's favorite. They just didn't seem to have a lot of rhythm during the year. But you know, a long time as a coach, if your team's going to catch fire at any point, pretty nice when it's at the end of the season. And since then, Concordia's been on fire.
Yeah, its talent is there, and it took Coach Fessler a month or two to get them playing in the right way that he wanted them to. But currently they have now won 9 in a row and 17 of their last 19 games. So they are peaking at the right time of the season.
Talk a little bit about Northern State and Concordia playing in that championship game. What did you see?
Well, it was 2 different styles. Northern is a team that wanted to get up and down, and Concordia wanted to control the tempo, and they had a little bit more success on that. Northern had an off-night shooting, you can say, but I think also you have to give the Concordia accolades for their defense.
And the all-tournament player, most valuable player from Concordia, not a big surprise there, was Rachel Hansen. We've really seen a lot out of her. A great student athlete, a nice member of this Northern Sun Conference.
You know, we talked to her. She's came from Minnehaha Academy to Concordia and has had a stellar career there. And just at this time, she's just taking over the game as a point guard, which is what you'd like, and just leading her team down the floor.
Yeah, averaged 15 points, 8 boards, and 4.5 assists in those 4 wins. Also on the all-tournament team, Rachel Krogman from Northern State, the junior from Elkton, South Dakota. We've had Allie Wilkinson from Minnesota State, from Wisconsin, the junior forward. Amnesia Kearney from Concordia-St. Paul, the junior guard, and of course Annika Whiting, the junior from Concordia. Also all tournament, and that's not a surprise because all those players performed real well, not only in the tournament but all season long.
They have, and the nice thing as you and I sit here and think about it is that 4 of those 5 are juniors. So women's basketball next year in the Northern Sun, there's going to be some tremendous leadership.
Well, on to the regional, where the Northern Sun was well represented with Wayne State, Northern State, and Concordia, all headed to Arkansas. And how'd you see it play out, Commissioner?
Well, again, I think our teams played exceptionally well down there. Winning, Wayne State won their first round, and Northern did lose, and Concordia won, and Concordia just kept winning and winning until they came home with the championship trophy.
And Concordia gets the win over the number 2 seed and the host early on. But then as they go on to win, it was a game that went down to the wire. In fact, a big lead, an 18-point lead, nearly eclipsed in the final moments with a 3-point shot.
Yeah, Mike, you hit on this. Actually, Concordia defeated the first round, the number 2 seed in the tournament, Harding. And then the next round, they beat the number 3 seed, Central Missouri. And then in the championship match, they beat the number 1 seed, Emporia. So they went right through the top of the seeds and came through. But as you mentioned, the championship game, they got off to a wonderful start. They did have an 18-point lead, but it kept coming down, and finally it was down to a 3-point lead. And Emporia had a great look at the basket, and most people thought it was going in. It didn't. Unfortunately, Concordia won.
And afterwards, Concordia had a chance to talk about it, including their head coach, Paul Fessler.
Man, everybody here, I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought that 3 was going in and we were going to overtime. And I knew my starters had logged about every minute possible. And we had 3 people with 4 fouls. I was like, if it goes into overtime, we're in trouble. I just can't say how proud I am of my team, of the program and what we've accomplished now going to our first Elite 8. There's just too many things going through my mind, but I can't be any happier right now.
As soon as we kind of went on that run, I was like, there's no way we are losing this. We just have too many people on our team that will step up and hit big shots and make big defensive stops. So, it got way closer than I would have liked it to, but at no point was I ever freaking out, really.
So Concordia goes on to the Elite 8. We wish them well. And also Annika Whiting with an outstanding performance, and deservingly so, in the region.
Well, here's the recipe for being the most valuable player in the region. In her second game, she had 24 points the first half, ended up with 32. That was against Central Missouri. And then in the championship game, she came back and nailed down 26 points on just some outstanding shooting percentages that she had. So if you do those sorts of things, you have a good chance to be the MVP of the region.
It doesn't hurt when she plays great defense, too.
Exactly.
That really does make a difference.
And all of that. She's a very fine player.
So Concordia now moves on to take on the 10th-ranked team, Nova Southeastern, in the Elite 8 on Tuesday. It'll be, this team is playing as well as anybody. It could be another banner for Gangelhoff, quite possibly.
We feel that in our conference that if we can, a team can win our conference first of all, and then go into the Central region, which is without a doubt probably the strongest region of the 8 that we have. And if you can get through that, then your opportunities to win a national championship, you have a chance. Obviously you have to play well, but you do have a chance. You're good enough to do it.
And if you want to stay up to date on everything happening or look back at the previous games, go to northernsun.org. The website will keep you up to date with features and links and live scoreboard updates, everything to do with Concordia and all the teams in the Northern Sun Conference. When we come back, we got track and field and wrestling still to come, so stay with us with the Northern Sun Showcase.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, 16 schools, 18 sports, one common goal, athletic and academic excellence. Student athletes in the league compete and win NCAA national championships while learning the skills to compete and win in life. The NSIC has developed into one of the premier NCAA Division II conferences in the nation. The NSIC, win here, win in life. Learn more at northernsun.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
At U.S. Bank, we help first-time buyers, growing families, and empty nesters move from their home into one that's more fitting.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did he just say you might be moving?
We are.
We raised 3 kids here. It would be perfect for your family.
Which that means you guys are moving.
Oh, this would be a great first home for you.
Okay, let's talk about the yard.
Take it from here?
Sure.
U.S. Bank offers flexible terms and a great rate on a home mortgage for whatever stage of life you're in. Call to apply.
Or just come in.
Okay.
All of us serving you.
Let's get started. Okay, I'm first.
U.S. Bank.
All right.
Thanks again for eavesdropping on the Northern Sun Showcase. Let's talk track and field. And Bemidji State University did a nice job hosting the conference championships.
Well, as usual, we're always blessed with people that step up and do a bang-up job. And new athletic director Tracy Dill has certainly learned how to do it correctly as they did host the indoor track and field for both men and women. And we want to make special thank you for that for Tracy and his staff.
And let's talk about what happened. We saw, Minnesota Duluth on the women's side went on to get a victory, and then on the men's side, Minnesota State was able to capture the crown.
Minnesota Duluth had a very close race. I believe they had 143 points, and University of Mary right behind them at 139. So it really came right down to the last event, and Minnesota Duluth won that, and they were led by their fantastic distant runner, Samantha Rivard.
Well, one of those things about track and field on the indoor side, as in outdoor, and in other sports too, it's an individual and a team sport. And so the Northern Sun was able to send 41 individuals and 10 relay teams all to the Nationals in Winston-Salem. And the conference was well represented. In fact, we got a couple of national champions.
Well, I'll let you mention that. I won't take that away from you. But I think also we want to congratulate Minnesota State Mankato on the men's championship. A stellar performance for that team, winning 9 out of the 19 events.
And no question about it. And as I did get a little bit ahead of myself, because when you get a national champion, not one but two, it's fun to talk about it. And Sam Rivard of Minnesota Duluth in the mile had an outstanding performance. Her best time by several seconds in the Nationals, so she peaked at the right time as well.
She did. I think she knocked off almost 5 seconds from her from the very best time she had, and she's only a freshman, so we're going to see some more things from her. I think it's over. And then in pole vaulting, we had Brigitte Gross from the University of Sioux Falls winning that event, and we know some things about Brigitte. We had a chance to visit with her on our radio show. What a great lady, and all the things she does, being a leader in her church, and wanting to go to music education. And so music and athletics, that's hard to put together, but she's finding a way to do it.
And she battled through injuries this year, a lot of them, to get to this national championship. So congratulations to her. Also a big part of this and is the Elite 89. And we talk about Division II athletics, life and balance, and really being a winner in life and in athletics. The Elite 89 might be the best way to represent that, Butch, and we're honored to get another Elite 89 in the Northern Sun.
Well, in 2010, the NCAA wanted to find a way to reward the outstanding student athlete in their national tournament. So they started this award, the Elite 89 Award, and what it is, it's an award given to the student athlete, of all the student athletes that compete in the national tournament, no matter what sport it is. This student athlete has the best GPA. And this year from University of Sioux Falls, Billy Brockmuller won that. It's not his first, it's his second. He actually won it in 2012 also in men's cross country. And totaling all those up, that's 7 for the Northern Sun. Very proud of that.
And an outstanding track and field for the indoor season, really for all the schools involved as we wrap up indoor track and field. On now to wrestling. Certainly wrestling this part of the country is about as good as it is anywhere, and certainly we saw St. Cloud State with their fine program go on to win their 3rd straight conference title.
They did, and a good balance in our conference in wrestling. As you mentioned, Mike, it's a very solid sport for us, and we had some excellent finishes.
19 wrestlers go to the Nationals in Cleveland, and we had 2 of them end up national runners-up. TJ North out of Augustana at 125, and also Edwin Cooper from Upper Iowa finished in 2nd at 149. Our Rookie of the Year was Austin Gergen, the redshirt freshman from St. Cloud State. The Wrestler of the Year was Carl Broghammer, the senior from Upper Iowa, who finished 3rd in the nation. And also we should mention, of course, Jesse Nelson was our Coach of the Year. He's done a fine program at Southwest Minnesota State.
Yeah, Jesse's really brought that program back. He's come back. He's been there for a couple years now, and has those wrestlers doing it the right way.
And we got baseball and softball. Yes, spring is really around the corner, I think. No, it is. And we'll have more on that and tell you what's happening in the Northern Sun in softball and baseball when we come back on the Northern Sun Showcase.
The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, 16 schools, 18 sports, one common goal, athletic and academic excellence. Student athletes in the league compete and win NCAA national championships while learning the skills to compete and win in life. The NSIC has developed into one of the premier NCAA Division II conferences in the nation. The NSIC, win here, win in life. Learn more at northernsun.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Butch, let's talk swimming and diving as we begin this segment. Again, swimming and diving in the conference, a mixture of Northern Sun and other member schools.
Yeah, we did. And from our conference, we had Lindenwood that gave us the best showing in the national tournament. And also we had St. Cloud State. Both of them finished in the top 25. So a good showing by those two schools.
And we congratulate the All-Americans and the involvement of the Northern Sun.
Yeah, exactly. Lindenwood, we had 4 All-Americans. They were all from Lindenwood, so yes, congratulations to them.
And moving on to baseball and softball, of course, they are underway, and fortunately the program's got to get started down in places like Arizona and Florida. And let's talk a little bit about what you've seen so far. We've had a no-hitter in baseball. It's fun to see that.
That's a little unusual this early in the season,
Joe.
I think. Yeah, Joe Axelson from Southwest Minnesota State University did throw a no-hitter. And that's a great start for him and maybe indications of what we should expect from him.
Yeah, the junior right-hander. That's their 8th in school history, by the way, but their first known hitter in the Northern Sun in 9 years. So congratulations to him. Softball also underway. We're seeing the teams down there getting geared up for the season.
Well, unfortunately, with the winter, we're kind of scrambling to find places to play and exchanging sites and finding neutral sites. But I really tip my hat to all of our coaches who work really hard to give their student athletes an opportunity to get in as many games as possible, and hopefully the weather will cooperate with us.
A reminder, you can certainly stay up to date on the Northern Sun Conference. I mentioned the website, northernsun.org, also Facebook and Twitter, and keep up to date on, of course, all the spring action and Concordia's women's basketball team in the Elite 8. Let's see if they can go on to maybe playing a championship game.
Well, we sure would love that. Good luck, Golden Bears.
And for the Commissioner Butch Raymond, I'm Mike Woodley. Thanks for watching the Northern Sun Showcase.